I did lose my teaching job at the end of the school year. I did lose it. I did.
So last night, if you missed it, I'm sure you did, because who wants to listen to Ryan at this point? But yes, the simp went live on TikTok, Ryan Anderson himself, confirming basically what we all knew, that he lost his job. I talked about this on the live stream that we covered where he was on TMZ with the headline reading, Gypsy Rose Blanchard ex Ryan throws homophobic slur at Ken Urker in heated text exchange, followed up by blasting the entire text message to the public. This is a huge no-no when it comes to education, specifically educators. Like, hello, McFly, is anybody home? Clearly not with Ryan Anderson, because he's got Gypsy Rose Blanchard on his mind 24/7, and he's cocky about it. So Ryan goes live last night, and of course, he didn't put full blame on Gypsy Rose at all. However, he did confirm that he lost his job, his career that he was so proud of. Remember, the same career he hung over Ken's head and said, look, I've got a future. No, not anymore, because there will be no school district that hires you. Every single school that Ryan Anderson applies to will get phone calls, will get bombarded by that eternal link of TMZ, and that will never go away. Due to the climate that we live in politically, that was the reason why you lost your job. It has nothing to do with your methadone use 14 years ago, in which, by the way, I guess he's sober. Congratulations. It had nothing to do with that. Sure, the school may have wanted you out because what? Oh yeah, that one thing, you married a mommy murderer, and we're so proud of it, talking to the children, saying, Gypsy makes me so happy. But the ironic thing is, Ryan thinks he didn't get fired for calling Ken homophobic slurs. Again, Rai, do you not realize that you were on TMZ, caught and exposed to the entire world for using homophobic slurs? And in fact, you confirmed those were your texts, and you didn't even make a half-ass apology about it. And again, in this political climate that we live in and social correctness, how could you expect not to be fired? You're delusional, Ryan, and you continue to bow down to a mommy killer. You ruined everything you worked hard for, which to me is actually a good thing, because I don't want this guy around any children, let alone children with special needs. What the hell is he going to teach them? Someone that can't be taught, can't teach. And he's a grown-ass man, too.
And it had nothing to do with what I called Ken. It had nothing to do with that. It had to do with what Gypsy announced to the world, what she was apologizing for. Okay, it had to do with that. I will tell y'all a story. Last season 1, when me and Gypsy were together, we were filming, we were at my mother's for dinner, and I got that call from my principal. All right, when filming started, I begged Lifetime, please do not put anything about my job in the show. Please, like, say I'm a teacher, that's fine, but don't put anything in the show, okay? I'm sitting there eating dinner with my mother and Gypsy and my nephew and my stepdad and everything. My phone rings and it's my job. I leave the room, talk to it, but I'm mic'd up, and I've asked Lifetime not to put it on TV or anything about my school, but they put that conversation on the show. Okay, that was how the school justified not extending my contract. So they used those 2 tardy write-ups and a write-up for me complaining. That's how they covered their own ass, because that's what they were going to do. They couldn't fire me for what was said. Like, y'all read between the lines. Like, it's kind of funny. Like, I had a job and we were transferring, we were merging. I had a job, and then when Gypsy announced that, job gone. So y'all read between the lines. School did what they did to protect themselves, fine. But we all know what it was for. Like, and first off, to hell with the people who call the school and to complain. I was good to my children, my kids. Number one, I was a great teacher to my students. You know, it's funny, when the principal told me my contract were not renewed, exact words came out of her mouth. She said, "You are such a benefit to these kids. I want you to know that you are such a benefit to these kids, and you found your calling." The exact words, "I believe you have found your calling in a special ed teacher." And then proceeds to tell me the school doesn't want my services anymore. What? So I'm a benefit to my kids, and I found my calling. But we don't want you anymore. All right. Does that make any sense to anybody? Does that make any sense? I found my calling. I was a benefit to my kids, but we don't want you anymore. So I had to live with that. I left the school last day, didn't get my contract renewed, fine, whatever. And then, but with such like teacher shortages out there in the world, like teachers, like, I'm sorry. And for the lady from West Virginia, I have your number. You called the school and complained that I was on what I was on, whatever. You know, that med like saved my life. So number one, whatever. I've been clean sober for let's see, 2039, just turned. I've been clean and sober 14 years. Number one, 14 years of my life I've been sober. All right. I had a stupid, it wasn't CPS, it wasn't the parish school board. It wasn't. I worked somewhere else. CSUSA. Y'all figure that out. But our schools were merging. The new principals didn't want to deal with me because people would call. Every time I get on live, some yahoos would always call the school about something I did on a live, something I did, something I said. Some yahoos would always call the school. I don't know why people don't have lives. I don't get it. That's people's mission to try to ruin other people's lives. Whatever. All right. So if you're keeping tally, I've lost 2 teaching jobs now. 2. Not really my fault. And I'm thankful when my ex left that I had my teaching job and my kids. I'm thankful. Yes, your fault? No, it's not. Number one, it's not. I mean, how is it my fault? Falling in love with Gypsy? I mean,
Now, Ryan goes on to explain certain things about why he lost his job, always coming up with different excuses, just as he does for Gypsy Rose. And he said he felt like he had a target on his back since a call with the principal was aired on Lifetime TV. In season 1, by the way. That's not why he got fired. He goes on to say that he got written up a few times for being tardy, and they received numerous complaints about him from people who watched his lives, which makes a whole lot of sense because I'm not even sure why you were on social media. You should have shut your shit down, moved on to a better life, but no, you wanted your 15 minutes of fame and you still enjoy it and bask in this glory, sacrificed everything just to be with Gypsy Rose and still want that. Ryan claimed that they were merging schools at the end of the year and did not renew his contract. I wonder why. Could it be the TMZ homophobic slurs? Because you got fired pretty much the next day or 2 days after, I remember, when the article was published. Ryan seems to believe it is because of the sweat rag post that Gypsy Rose made about the methadone allegations that caused him to lose his career. Yeah, that's not it either, Ryan. Thank God he's not teaching children anymore. So Ryan sums it up as, hey, you know, it's their reasoning. The school did it because of all the write-ups and complaints, and now here I am jobless. And you should thank Gypsy Rose for that. Thank yourself myself, actually. So, right, let me get this straight. Every time you did a live, people would call the school and complain about your behavior? Then maybe stop doing live streams, you genius. For someone who claims he loves his career. But the truth is, you love yourself. You love the attention from all the Ryan stands. Team Ryan, yay! How cringe is that? Listen, Mr. Anderson, you lost your job because it all had to do with the homophobic slurs. And you got blasted on a platform like TMZ. That's worldwide, man. The public can't ignore it. But you're just too proud to take accountability because you don't care. In fact, you never really made an apology, a sincere apology to the gay community or anything like that. It was beneath you. And here you are dismissing it again, blaming your loss of your job on other things that were not related to the true fact you got fired. Oh, and Ryan, trust me, I believe you that you got a lot of write-ups for being tardy and a ton of complaints about your live streams because you would say some stupid stuff that teachers probably shouldn't be saying. And I've got a lot of friends that are teachers. That's why they're not on social media, because they respect their jobs and careers. And they take educating strangers' children seriously. And I bet the texts were more of the final nail in the coffin, even if you, Ryan, don't want to admit it, because if you were sober for 14 years, what does it matter if you did methadone decades ago? And here you are continuing to play the game on the internet that you know nothing about. You play with fire, you get burned. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And here you are. The question is, what are you going to do for money now? Make hashtag Team Ryan shirts for merch? Rip off some more people on Cameo? Promote more boring ass live streams so you could collect whatever TikTok gifts come your way? Because I'm going to be honest with you, you're never going to get a teaching job ever again. You done fucked up, man. That TMZ article will never go away. There's articles you can still get from decades ago, trust me on that. And every single new place that you go apply to and maybe get a job at. And I'm sure you're a guy that won't disclose all the information because that's just kind of who you are. You won't have to worry because others will do it for you. Again, I would say, hey, you should probably thank Gypsy Rose for that. Maybe you should, but you got to think yourself. You're a grown man. It's time to take accountability and responsibility. Two things your ex-wife knows nothing about. Ryan made excuses saying a target was on his back. Your employers couldn't legally release you due to what happened on Lifetime. It was because maybe you were tardy a few times, but you know the real reason why you got fired. That's why it happened a day after pretty much TMZ released their report. Being tardy to school and you're the teacher, wow, that's a great example for the kids. Look, if you're supposed to be at work at 7:30 a.m., take your ass to work or get written up. That's as easy as it gets. I asked myself, how the hell did this guy teach anyone when he can't even correlate? If I go live stream on TikTok, parents will complain. Oh, and I'm under a huge microscope. You know what? I'm going to continue to do that then. Yeah, I'll go live tomorrow. And trust me, brother, it will be harder for you to get a job at a new school in a new district than it would have been for you to keep your job at your existing school. Let me sum that up for you. Your career that you love so much is over. It's time to try that wrestling podcast. You know, not one single person in the Gypshit dramaverse knows how to just fade into a peaceful life, away from the mommy killer. They can't just be normal people. They all have to be out there. Her minions, Ken, Ryan, even Mia, Hot Rod too. They love the blood money. If Gypsy Rose would have just gotten a regular job, away from the public eye, stayed her ass off social media, most people would never have even bothered with her. The same is true of Ken and Ryan. The perfect example being Ken's ex-girlfriend, because she's smart. The others, bunch of dumber than rocks dipshits. And the way that Ryan was kind of talking down about his past employer on a live stream, by the way, why would you do that? Keep burning bridges, I guess. And even as Ryan was explaining, oh, this is why I lost my job. He told someone in the chat to eat a dick. Very classy. Very, very classy. And he said he could say that because it didn't matter because he's not employed. So that goes to show future employers what a piece of shit he is. Toxicity, no remorse, very Gypsy-like. Ryan, it was because of your decisions you lost your job, such as the fact you thought it was a good idea to marry a murderer. What else did you expect continuously inserting yourself into the shit show plastered all over the internet for the whole world to see and TMZ to post? And he talks about, oh, I love those kids. I love those children. Yet chooses a mommy killer who beats and continues to beat him down, humiliate him, destroy him on the internet and in real life any chance she can get. So yes, Ryan, it's all your fault. I personally have zero sympathy for you. You're not a child. In fact, you're supposed to be teaching children. So thank God that is never happening again. It is infuriating that you straight up refuse to even consider that marrying an infamous killer might not have been the best idea for someone like yourself who serves the public as a teacher, an educator of kids with special needs. You think schools want to be associated with that crap? They weren't the ones who wrote the prisoner serving time for murder. You were, Ryan. So you created this mess, and it happened the day you sent that first letter. You should have wrote to Tiger King, and yet here he is on a live stream just last night. The dude never learns. There's no school district that's going to hire you if you keep running your mouth. Again, hello, McFly. Is anybody home? Apparently not. You put that school district, your employers in that position, and there you are live last night blaming them. Because you're like Gypsy, you don't take any accountability, pass the buck, and defend evil. And to think about it, Ryan, basically you were sexually attracted to someone pretending to be a mentally challenged child in Gypsy Rose. And you called her beautiful. Oh, she's so beautiful. The most angelic voice. Oh my God. Who would want your children to be around him, let alone be taught by him? Those kids are probably Googling their teacher's name and seeing the D is fire and him reposting it on some live stream or whatever. Ryan Anderson, just like you blame Dee Dee Petrie for her death and also Nicholas, shaming him, someone as a special ed teacher should have a heart for, some empathy, while all defending Geppetto. That was your choice and your decision. And he continued to make it over and over. May it be a lesson to anyone who considers getting involved with Gypsy in the future. And people kept suggesting that Ryan sue the school or Gypsy. And he said, no, I'm not the type that will sue people. Because you have no right to sue the school. What the hell did the school do? They can't control your mouth and your actions. Again, you did this to yourself. A lot of people feel that Ryan Anderson should have lost his job for just merely marrying and continually defending a convicted murderer. And I know where they're coming from. These same people also feel he should never work with kids again, and I 100,000% agree. He was fortunate to have stayed employed. If he really did value his career, he would have disappeared, left whatever attention-seeking thrill he needed to fill his ego of nothingness. But again, that's what happens when you sincerely and deeply do not care. You care more in defending someone that brutally killed their mom. Like I said, I have a few friends that are teachers. They actually value their careers. They love and enjoy it. It's rewarding to them. They value it so much that they know when you get a teaching job, you put your shit, your social media on lockdown because anything you do in public can come back and bite you in the ass. And that is what happened to you, Ryan. And it happened to you in spades because TMZ covered it. And you knew, Ryan, as a man, that not only you had to worry about Gypsy Rose and her minion friends harassing your ass, but also any parent that knew you probably and most definitely filed complaints against you because they didn't want you teaching their kid. Before I leave, oh my gosh, I gotta say this though. What the hell is going on with your mustache, Ryan? It's like you could walk for miles in that gap. I can go hiking between your separation of mustache. Did Gypshit's cooch fumes permanently burn your hair off, man? Let me know in the comments down below, okay, buddy? I think it's time to shave that shit off because they're matching Gypsy Rose's extensions. All right, I'll see you guys next time with peace and motherfucking love. But make sure you sound off in the comment section down below. I want to know what y'all think, and have a great week ahead.
I did lose my teaching job at the end of the school year. I did lose it.